Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Mark P and this is my TNA Bound for Glory thoughts. But before we go on with that, we must just clear up a few things. I went 4-4 on my predictions, for anyone who cares, I'm sure you don't. I asked on my predictions vid, I said, do you want me to do Q&A? Overwhelming responses are yes, please do Q&A. So, if you want to put a question, as down here, or if you want to send me a question to my inbox, I'll do a Q&A in a few days. Basically, when I've got about 20-25 questions, how's that sound? Then I will think. There's also the moderator on my channel, if you want to go and put a question there. Also, before I go on, Black Hat Feline, Kristen from that channel, and Johnny Thunder, I've talked about doing a YWC Awards. And they've got some really good categories, and I like this idea a lot. I'll put a link down here to Kristen's vid, because that's got all the categories on it. Go and have a vote. So, tonight, Generation Me versus Motor City Machine Guns was the opener. This was never going to be a bad match, was it? For all my criticisms, no, there weren't criticism on the prediction vid. It's been done before, and it's been done in Ultimate X. So this will have to be a pretty damn tough match for you to be worthy on the card. And it was a very, very good match. It was fast, it was crisp, it got a decent amount of time. Shelley played the face in peril and got double teamed with some really nice double teaming until Sabin was able to get the hot tag, and then the Guns cleaned house, and then it was back and forth, and who's going to win. You really thought that the Guns were going to lose the tag titles at one point, which is the sign of a good match, isn't it? So, the Skull and Bones get the win for the Motor City Machine Guns, and I gave this one 4 stars because I'm a generous man. That might be a little bit too generous, but it was an enthralling, entertaining, edge of your seat sort of match, and it was a great way to open the show. Inc versus Jordan and Young. My prediction was Inc, and this, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because here comes the heat. Yeah, I gave this one a dud. This was crap. This was crap. Basically, the storyline is, as far as I can make out, that Eric Young, who of course was the leader of that big heel faction, World Elite, this time last year, is now an idiot. Basically. And he kept switching sides, and there was some okay wrestling. And when I say the wrestling, it's basic chain wrestling. But it was just all blanked out. This bizarre storyline. And, right, let me tell you, if this is meant to be funny, right, it fails, and it will only ever be an opening match act, yeah? If it's meant to be taken serious, I fear for Eric Young. I feel for Eric Young. How does that sound? That sounds bad, doesn't it? Fuck, didn't like this match at all. This is a dud. This match, you know what this match reminded me, yeah? WCW 2000. Now, bear in mind just how much that fucking shite I've had to watch recently. I'm watching this going, this feels like a WCW 2000 match. It feels like it's been booked by Russo, and it just is for no purpose, and it has absolutely no entertainment value whatsoever, hence it is dud. If it was meant to be funny, I'm sorry, maybe it's just my sense of humour, but I didn't find this amusing in the slightest, so there we go. Jay Lethal versus Doug Williams. Sorry, Douglas Williams. My prediction was Jay, so I got one right. Oh no, I got King right, didn't I? What can we say about this one? Right, this is what I'll say about this one, right, is that the match was okay, I gave it 2 stars. The match, there was nothing special. And I'll tell you something, right, if Bound for Glory is meant to be TNA's WrestleMania, so this is the one that the world's watching, this is where you put on the best matches, this is where you showcase what your guys can do. If this was meant to be a showcase for the X division, fail. Absolute fail. It felt like a WWE Cruiserweight match from like 2004, something like that. You know, it has some alright stuff in it, but it was nothing special. These guys, I know, could have a much better match. And then, right, this guy called Robbie E, and if you've watched TNA regularly, I'm sure you know who this guy is, but I haven't got a clue who he is. He attacks Lethal, right, and cuts a truly horrible promo. His accent is woeful. It's like a 1980s promo. He's shouting into the microphone. God damn, go away. So then, right, in what was, I'm sure, one of the advertised main events, one of the reasons why people were meant to be buying this show, I'm sure, RVD Vs Abyss. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people out there who fucking love this match. I'm sure there are, but for me, there was a couple of big spots. For example, RVD went to do a Van Terminator to Abyss. Abyss moved out of the way, got the chair, threw it at RVD, who fell off the top turnbuckle, through a conveniently placed barbed wire board that was on the outside. And that looked nice. Alright? But for the main part of it, my first thought was, this is on before Kevin Nash's match? This is weird. Shouldn't this be like either the semi-main or on before the Lethal Lockdown? No. Gotta have Nash be after this. Come on. Right. My problem with this match is it wasn't very brutal. And what I mean by that is that if you've got to look at it in the context of reality, yeah, which is that if someone had done to me what Abyss had done to RVD, I'd want my revenge and I'd want to absolutely annihilate Abyss, right? Wouldn't you? And yet he did some hardcore stuff to him. He did a Van Terminator, for example, where he put another barbed wire board on Abyss and then did the Van Terminator to that. That was nice. But it wasn't, I was expecting Abyss to be covered in blood. For some reason, because it's a Monsters Ball match maybe, I was expecting glass and I was expecting tacks. I was expecting to Abyss to get those sort of weapons out, and then he'd be the one who took the bump into them. No, just none of it. See, for me, it's a 2-star match. And of course, the other thing about this is that some people I'm sure are going to be pissed off because they wasn't meant. Abyss came out and started to talk about they. RVD then came straight out. And then, of course, because Abyss lost, predictably, but you were sat there feeling a little bit short-changed. You're like, when are they coming then? You started straight away thinking to yourself, well, it's got to be the main, hasn't it? Then we had Nash and Sting and Pope versus Joe and Jarrett. I tell you something, this was another dud for me. This match, remember, a dud for me is a match that's got no entertainment value. This match was boring as shit until, Joe goes to tag in Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett walked out. And you're like, right. And then Joe just got completely annihilated until he took the jackknife powerbomb. Like a minute later, the match was short, match was pointless, match was crap. And for me, that is a match that's got no entertainment value to it whatsoever. It doesn't deserve to be on a pay-per-view. What they did here, they could have done an Impact, happily, willingly. Don't put it on my pay-per-view that I'm paying stupid amounts of money for. Sorry, if you don't agree, just fucking put the hate comments down here. But this match had no. I mean, if you were I'm generous, but if you had like 4 of me between us, we'd give it half a star if we were feeling particularly nice. But today, I'm not in that sort of mood, so this one's done. Then 3D came out and they announced, remember what I said, it was either they've got a new contract or they're retiring. There was only going to be one of those two. They say they're retiring, but they want a match against the Motor City Machine Guns. They didn't actually say when, incidentally. It could be this time next year. I'm expecting it to be on Impact. Okay, Lethal Lockdown. Now, they have I should go through this one, shouldn't I? Because there's this and then there's the main event. So, Flair and Foley brawl before the bell. Stevie and Kaz start off. It's mostly forgettable, with Stevie controlling, and then AJ in, and basically for the next 20 minutes or however long it is, it's the classic heels have the advantage, then a face comes in and evens the score up, and then another heel comes in, so it's 3 heels on 2, and the faces get absolutely battered. One pointer thing is that Drummy Dreamer gets in, and do you know what he uses? Oh, how long have I waited to say this one? He uses the caffeinated water of doom! Ah, yes! Nice one, Tommy! So basically, we'll skip a bit, brother, shall we? We get to, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole page of, basically back forth. Doesn't Raven look like Tom? No. Doesn't Raven look like Dusty Rhodes? He's starting to get very fat, and he looks like Dusty Rhodes. Look at him next time you see him and go, bloody hell, that's Dusty Rhodes. Honest. No, it is, honest. Little things bug me about this one, like for example, Matt Morgan comes in and he gets Sabu and he picks him up and he powerbombs him into the cage, and next time you see Sabu, he's busted open. You're like, that's an interesting one. He's been to the Jeff Jarrett school of when to get busted open, isn't it? It's the longest running joke ever. It will be, I promise. So, I'll be doing this. I've been in 10 years, in 5 years time talking about Jeff Jarrett. I'll say he gets crotched and didn't believe it, but yes, I'm still doing it. Oh, so basically, right, towards the end of the match, Kazarian goes out, gets chucked into the door which means the door gets opened and Kazarian goes to the top where, oh look, there's a table and a ladder for the, the yearly Lethal Lockdown AJ Styles bump. But no, it's not Kazarian this time. Stevie Richards is up there with him. Looks like Stevie Richards is placed on the table. Kazarian's going to go up high and do a bump. And out of a bag, Brian Kendrick gets out of the bag and stops Kazarian from doing it. A little bit of continuity because, of course, Brian Kendrick had been saying that he wanted to be part of EV 2.0, but it was still weird. It was just one of those, that was strange. And they started doing this fucking, he started meditating, which I didn't want to see either. There was little things as well. Flair bladed on camera for one of those, so you absolutely, everyone bled. Which I have no problem with at all. Everyone who needed to got bust open in this. It's a cage match. If you're going to get bounced into the cage, you need to bleed. That's just how it is in a cage match. That's what that's what you do. There's various chants, this is awesome and all that. But a Dreamer Driver off the top rope onto a chair gets the win for EV2. And that's the other thing I have with this. The wrong team won for definite. Fortune should have won this one. Put EV2 to bed now. Come on, this is dragging out way too long. Really, way too long. Yeah, the thing is that I felt this match was a clusterfuck. I felt like it didn't have much cohesion to it. It was just big spots, blades. When the weapons came down, it was just weapon hit, and it didn't do anything for me. So I'm going to give that one 2 3/4. Main event, my prediction was Kurt Angle. Jeff Hardy's got new music, which is awful. Here's one for you. Here's one over. Did you know? Right, this is an interesting fact that Kurt Angle won a gold medal at the Olympic Games in 1996. I didn't know that. Right, in my opinion, what they should do is every time Kurt Angle comes out to the ring, the announcers and the ring announcer should mention that he's an Olympic gold medal winner, because I've been watching Kurt Angle for years and I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that, man. Just mention it. It's a little thing. Here's Kurt Angle. He's Olympic gold medal winner. Just say that. Everyone's happy. Sarcasm. So, great three-way German suplex spot early on. Jeff with a splash to the outside. Crowd chant TNA, and then they go deathly quiet. So it's like they're sat there going TNA, TNA. As everyone around them goes quiet, so they all go quiet. Crowd noise on this whole show was very strange, very strange. Right. Super belly to belly suplex by Angle. Jeff goes for a swanton, and it looks like Kurt is trying to spear him in midair, but it also looks crap. Looks like it just fails completely. Starplex gets 2 for Anderson, who gets Germaned, and as does Jeff Hardy. I don't like the triple German spot, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's a stupid spot. It's a stupid spot. So don't argue with me. It's a stupid spot. Why? Because the person who's taking the move has to do all the work to position Kurt Angle to do the next German suplex. It looks stupid. Just a thought. It looks great. But just if you watch the intricacies of it, you're like Jeff Hardy pulling Angle up by the hands, you're just like, fuck off. It's stupid. Anyway, that's just me. Ankle lock for Jeff, then an ankle lock. Both men, which is nice. So he's got both ankles. Which, that's nice. I like that. Anderson hits a Green Bay plunge. Coverage broken by Swanton. Super Angle Swan gets 2. Twisted Fate and a Swanton on Anderson. Get 2. Ankle lock on Jeff. Mike Check gets 2. Pin sequence leads to, sing it with me, the arm-breaking moonsault of doom. Man, it only gets 2. Shame. And a TNA chant. Come on, lads. That's what I'm talking about. That deserves the TNA chant. Not the double suicide dive at the very start. 3 minutes into the Motor City Machine Gun match, there was a fucking double suicide dive. Like, oh, come on. Right, and then they do a finisher reversal sequence, and then they do a ref bump in a no disqualification match. You're like, why? Come on. Bischoff comes out, he comes out of the chair. Then Hogan's music hits, he limps out the ring on crutches. And basically Bischoff, for some reason Hogan gives Bischoff one of the crutches. And you're like, what's going on here? And then Jeff Hardy gets one of the crutches, and you're like, oh. And then Jeff Hardy uses one of the crutches on Kurt Angle. And you're like, oh no, here comes a heel turn. And then he does a switch of fate on Mr. Anderson and pins him, forces him in. And it's a 3-star match, in my opinion. So that's where we go. So we've got the main event was good, and the opener was good. There was no pyros at all, none. This felt like a late WCW 2000 pay-per-view. I don't remember seeing a single pyro go off. And you're expecting pyro on the big shows, in my opinion. Maybe it's just me. Everything else was either a crap match, 2 duds in my opinion, or an okay match, a 2-star or a 3-star match. No, I mean, it was only that 3-star match, sorry. I mean, I'm going to get heat anyway. If I give it fucking 9 out of 10, you'll hate me for it. If I give it 4 out of 10, you'll hate me for it. So, you know, I'm just going to go with this. I gave this one a 5 out of 10. You know, for its premiere show, the one that matters every year, this was not a very good show. And if you want to compare it to WrestleMania, obviously, I'm sure you'll realise that WrestleMania wiped the living floor out of it. Oh, yes, I'm Mark P.